Let yourself in, let yourself in. Let yourself in, let yourself in. Let yourself in, let yourself in. Are you searching for your soul? Spinning out and losing control. Too afraid to look inside. It's not too late to change your mind. So won't you let yourself in? Let yourself in, let yourself in. Let yourself in. Let yourself in, 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 let yourself in. Down by the fire. Let yourself in, let yourself in. Up on the fire, singing. Let yourself in, let yourself in.
Shoot down all your ships now. Radio, all your friends. The war is on again. Shoot down, shoot down, shoot down. Melting glaciers recording. You start moving time like Sat down again, pick it back up, just to win. Sat down again, pick it back up, you'll never win. You'll never win. You'll never win. Shoot out, shoot the lights out. Maybe it won't see us now. Undercover darkness reigns. They won't find us again. Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out. Melting glaciers with Jordan. Scattering
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. It's Noah in the morning. Noah Goki here with you on the All Western New York Radio Broadcast Network. Put it right into you, baby. That's right. Welcome to the show. Oh, there we go. Bring it down a little bit. It's early. It's early yet. Everybody's got to get woken up and have your coffee, hang out, do your thing. Welcome to the show. Give us a call anytime, 716-402-4218. That's the phone number. Our Skype handle, all WNY Radio. So we've had some complaints about the background here on the show. As you can see, it's just in my studio, and you've got the drum set over here for Noah Goki and the Skulls, and some guitars and things laying around, and random posters. I thought about putting up like a banner or something, you know, something behind it look nice. Google has solved the problem for me. Check this out. Yeah, buddy. There's a nice beach setting for us. It's not coming through too great. Let's see. I'll try Venice. Here we go. Nope. Let's try this. Oh, that's fantastic. We had it for a second. We had it. We're rotating landscapes. Oh, there we go. We're in beautiful Venice. Just had to catch the light the right way there. We can rotate through these, though. I don't know about Venice. We'll go to, ooh, what is this, the Parthenon? Look, we're world travelers now on Noah in the Morning. Google has done amazing things here. We can go to ancient times, which we're going to need to. We're going to travel to ancient times today, later. Ooh, here's a frozen winter wasteland. We don't want that. Brr. Just getting out of the winter here in Buffalo. It's finally nice. Ooh, we can go into this weird 80s wonderland. We can make a music video later. This is fantastic. The beach. Let's see if the beach will work. Oh, hey, I'm in Hawaii too. Mukulakahiki. Luau. This is fantastic. But I think my favorite is this one right here. The brick wall. There we go. So I sort of look like I'm graffiti. You know, the effect isn't perfect, so it's a little spotty, but I look like I'm graffiti on this brick wall. So from now on, I'll be doing the show as graffiti on this brick wall. Oh, but that's not the best part. That's not the best part. Let's see. Google has given me all these other fun things to play with, too, like a little mustache. Oh, yeah. We could do a mustache. We could do a little goatee. Ooh, that works well with my mustache. Actually, I might keep that one. That's not bad. I like this one, though. I think I like this the best. There we go. Nice full beard. That's what I need right now. And we can put on some eyewear, too. I've got a little monocle. Ah! Well, the monocle might go better with an evil mustache. Let's see how that looks. Yes. Dastardly. Dastardly, if I dare say so myself. Just dastardly. I'm a dastardly duo. A villain. Oh, no, let's go back to the beard. I like the beard. We could do a patch. Could be a pirate. Arrgh, me mateys. One of these days we'll go on vacation. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're going to go snorkeling. I think today we're going to go with just glasses. There we go. Those are nice. Oh, that's a good look for me. Okay, I'm doing the whole show like this now. Wait, what would happen if I put on actual glasses? Is this going to wig Google totally out? Put glasses on and then put glasses on? Whoa. I've got the double glasses going on right now. Amazing. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Noah in the Morning. Thank you so much for joining me. Begin today a driving lesson. Instructions. There's a story in the Buffalo News. Let's check it out. A Crescent City, Florida couple who tried to avoid a state police traffic check last Thursday on Route 394 in the town of North Harmony. Ah, yes. Good old Chautauqua County, the land of my ancestral origins. They were briefly jailed, and they still face felony drug and other charges here following the discovery of marijuana, cocaine, and open beer cans in their car, according to state police. Benny Valdez, 45, and Heather Valdez, 37, were arrested on charges of felony criminal possession of a controlled substance in the 5th degree and consumption of an alcoholic beverage in a motor vehicle. Benny was also charged with unlicensed operation of a motor vehicle and aggravated unlicensed driving. So they threw the book at these guys. And it begs the question, what did they do wrong, right? Florida couple driving in Chautauqua County, they may not know the rules down there. Well, when the car was first seen stopping just north of the traffic check, Benny Valdez apparently was spotted behind the wheel. The couple pulled over, switched seats, and Heather Valdez swung the car in the opposite direction, only to be then stopped by state police in the town of North Harmony. Oh, first mistake right there. The very obvious switching of drivers. Okay, just in case. Both were briefly jailed at the Chautauqua County Jail, but posted bail pending further local court action. Okay, I think I can help with this. Let's talk for a second to Benny and Heather Valdez of Florida. Because in Florida, you see, ladies and gentlemen, if most people don't know this, there are no laws. Laws do not exist in Florida. And for that reason, this couple from Florida had no way to know what they were walking into. The kind of buzzsaw that exists there in Chautauqua County, grinding people up like meat. Wow, I just looked at my disguise and it's pretty awesome. I gotta say, it doesn't work for the radio, but if you are watching on the YouTuber, wow. I am a weird living graffiti with large, really strange double glasses and a fantastic beard. Just perfectly manicured. Oh, it's so soft. It's so nice. Love my beard. Okay, let's see. Number one, Benny and Heather. When driving in New York State, if you're driving without a license in New York State, you have to be very careful. If you see a police checkpoint, number one thing not to do is pull over, switch drivers, turn around, and drive the other direction. That will just immediately get you pulled over and arrested, and all your marijuana and cocaine will all be found, and you will be exposed. You don't want that. No. You want to drive straight up to the roadblock. Benny, you got to be a man. You're driving without a license, you got to own up to it. Drive straight into that roadblock. Roll up there and say, "Hello, motherfuckers. We are from Florida where there are no laws." Now, at this point, the police will either laugh heartily, have a fantastic night, and send you on your way, or they will want to see more of your car and your person. If you do get pulled over, go quietly at first. But don't stay quiet once you get out of the car. Then start speaking in Spanish really, really quickly. Whatever you can say, make things up. Going quietly arouses contempt in the cop heart. What you want to do is give him a flood of information. You're on cocaine. It shouldn't be hard. You just talk and talk and talk. Tell him about all the things that make you a great driver and a great person, a great American. Tell him all the reasons that you love this country. Tell him that you've been to the moon. In Spanish. Hopefully he doesn't speak Spanish. Tell him all the wonderful things in your heart. Could it be rainbows? I think so. At this point, if the police haven't tasered you yet and brought you to the ground, what you want to do is calmly get into your car, start it up, and drive away. It's your only chance. Turning around, driving the other direction, it's not going to work in Chautauqua County. there's probably cops waiting for you a couple hundred yards down the road. They've already seen you. They've already identified Benny. They've already run his license. And they already know that you're from Florida, where there are no laws. So you probably have cocaine in your Florida blood. And only the moon landing will save you, my friends. Only the moon landing will save you at this point. Right on. This brick wall is so fantastic. A great mistake here in the background. Great local band. That keyboard solo was just perfect for the Benny Valdez story. That's how to drive in Chautauqua County, and how to avoid being arrested, especially if you're from Florida. Mr. Jean Ben had intended to join us today. Unfortunately, he was unable to. But he sent me something, and I honestly have no idea what it is. But when Jean Ben sends you a bit of performance art, you go with it. Okay, apparently this is a video from Brazil. It's some stripper giving a drunk and weary traveler an experience he'll never forget. Oh boy. Okay, I'll just provide the commentary on this since you can't see it. Okay. It's bad. There's a big nasty stripper. She's straddling a man. He's on a zebra beanbag of some kind. And he looks to be pretty well enjoying it, but she's shoving a dildo in his mouth now. Big dildo. Oh, and now she's reversing. Oh boy. She's moved to the front, and the dildo still in the guy's mouth, and now it's also going in other areas. And I'm probably going to get a virus in my computer from watching this. Thanks, John. That's great. So now she's going the other way. Okay, and then at the end there was a shot of an alien. Then there's a shot of the alien here in the front. And then it looks like the stripper has a penis. So that's where we're at now. The stripper now has a penis. And so the guy got a little upset with that. And security came over and told him to take his dildo and leave. Thank you, John. All right, we've got to get rid of that. John Ben's a horrible person, but I love him for being that horrible person. Next up, let's see a story we've been following. The Buffalo Gills lawsuit. Of course, the Gills and several other cheerleaders in the NFL have been sued by former members, current members, for being underpaid, exploited, things of that nature. Well, interestingly, attorneys for the Buffalo Bills today filed motions seeking to have the team removed as a defendant in the suit. Like, can we please just get out of this, because it really has nothing to do with us. You know, they said that they recognize the contribution the Gills have made to the community, to charitable organizations, but said for decades the Gills trademark has been licensed to independent third parties who have assumed the responsibility for the selection, management, training, scheduling, and compensation, importantly, of the cheerleaders. The team stressed the public impression that the Bills organization employs the cheerleaders is inaccurate and misleading. So, can you just take us out of this? Nice try, Buffalo Bills. Can't wait to see how this one turns out. I mean, really, I get it. The Gills are licensed and managed by third parties. However, their very existence depends on the Buffalo Bills, and their performances occur on the Buffalo Bills field at Ralph Wilson Stadium. So how can you completely remove yourself from the situation? I think the judge would probably say that there's more that you need to look at. You can't just jump out of the lawsuit. Potentially could be very well involved in it, so you stay in. We'll see what happens with the Raiders and the Bengals cheerleaders as well. Because if this worked for the Bills, I guarantee they'd go the same route. So, interesting story. We'll keep an eye on it. We're doing a lot of Great Mistake in the background today. Maybe we should do some in the foreground, baby. Let me go back to my costume here for a moment. Let's take away the sunglasses. What else do we got here? I have a beard, a luxurious beard right now. I'm going to get rid of the beard. Let's go back to take the glasses off. We'll go back to the mustache and monocle for a little while. There we go. Perfect. Indeed. Dastardly. You're like Mr. History. This is what Mr. History would have looked like. Yes. Mr. History, for sure, had a monocle. It's Noah in the morning, 716-402-4218. That's our phone number. We got a lot to get to the rest of the show. We're going to talk Olivia Munn. We're going to talk about the Niagara Falls School Board candidate, who's a disabled model who's appeared in Penthouse, Playboy. She's penned Tales of Erotica. Interesting candidate. Yeah, and we'll break down the draft with Tommy Loop. Much to talk about there. Sammy Watkins, the big trade. The Buffalo Bills made the big splash, moving up. Then rounded it out with some picks of need, and we'll see what Tommy Loop thought. All that coming up shortly. Right now, why don't we get into some more Great Mistake. This from their album Wave to the Astronaut. We're going to hear the song Demons. Indeed. It's 10:18. Dastardly.
Who's walking? Voices talking about all the reasons I should stay. Feed the demons, all the reasons that I couldn't play. You set me up into a tyrant. You never tell me what am I doing wrong. You put your words on your neon Bible. I stood and smiled at the fact there was nothing left to say. Cold and distant, I was resistant at the words that you were trying to say. And now they're swarming into my front lawn. You set me up into a silent tirade. I turn the channels cause what's going on? The doorbell rings but I don't have one. Who's falling now? Who's falling now? You come to quest, I can't let go. It's nothing less sincere. I stand for you, who's falling now? You set your little bar in my front lawn. You set me up into
Hello, wait, oh wait, okay, I'm sorry. We're existing within.
One more time.
We're existing within, and you're listening to allwnYradio.com.
This is your history, and so it's no surprise to me. What's so funny? What's so funny? We made such awkward friends. Still it was cold, I let you in. Yet it's still so funny. Upon an old armchair, a stack of books, I left you there. Figure it all out. I fell for your joke. Then you disappeared in smoke. It's been 3 years by now. It matters less, yet I wonder how. It's all so fucking funny. You got your life in hand, I've got mine too, so let's pretend. It's all so goddamn funny. I fell for your joke. Then you disappeared in smoke.
Evening Hey, that's right. You're in Niagara Falls. You're looking for some music. You come on down to the Evening Star on Niagara Falls Boulevard. Yeah, that's right. The 8810 Niagara Falls Boulevard, Niagara Falls, New York.
Those aren't just beer nuts in my pocket.
That's right, Billy. You can get whatever you need right there at the Evening Star. 8810 Niagara Falls Boulevard, Niagara Falls, New York. Yeah, come on down. Live music Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Evening Star.
8810 Niagara Falls Boulevard, Niagara Falls, New York.
Evening Star.
When I want to see some ass, I always go to Evening Star.
Evening Star.
Yeah, Evening Star. Hey, asses everywhere.
We're rocking All Western New York radio. Oh yeah, baby, what's up? Shit. Oops.
All right, welcome back to Noah in the Morning here on the All Western New York Radio Broadcast Network. Thank you so much for joining us. I've got to get some facial hairs back on here. Let's see. Mustache. Let's try with the goatee this time. Yeah, and the monocle. I like that look. That's good. I look like the Kaiser. I am Kaiser Wilhelm here, hosting the morning shows with you, good people. Yes, we bring to you the good news of what's happening around the area in the Western New Yorkans. Angela J. Bray is a writer, model, and disability advocate who serves on the Niagara Falls Human Rights Commission. The 34-year-old has also penned tales of erotica. She's been professionally photographed, scantily clad, in her wheelchair, and she discussed one-night stands with Penthouse magazine for a story about sex with women in wheelchairs. And now, she's running for the Niagara Falls School Board. Boom. I love it. I love the candidacy of Angela J. Bray, but I want to talk to Mr. Tommy Loop, our good friend, and get his thoughts as a Niagara County resident. See if we can get Tommy Loop on the phone right now. Tommy Loop, making the call.
Automatic voice message system.
Oh no!
1651.
Okay, let's talk more about Angela J. Bray. Tommy Loop has vanished into the night. He's okay. We here still. We German. We do the Angela J. Bray story. So Bray has been in a wheelchair since her early teens, and she's completely open talking about sexuality, whether it's hers or giving advice to other people about their sexuality. No stranger to the media, she's appeared in People magazine for a story about extreme weight loss. She apparently at one point was up to about 300 pounds and lost 200 pounds of it. She's been on Entertainment Tonight. She's been in a non-nude photo contest on Playboy.com. And she's completely open about all of it. She says, quote, "My skeletons are all on Facebook, not in my closet." It's refreshing, actually, in this day and age for a person to be so open about something that's in our prudish society normally very taboo to talk about sexuality in any way, yes. We don't like to discuss the private body parts here in the Americas. You see, we are all dirty, dirty swine, and we do not discuss the dirty parts, the stinkies. They're not good for you. But Bray does. She's not afraid to talk about it. And now running for the Niagara Falls School Board. You know, in this day and age, you can't really hide anything. It's all out there on Facebook and social media as well. So why try to put your skeletons away? Eventually, you be found out. Bray said, "I have the option of taking down my website or changing it or doing something, but then I'd be saying to the world, I'm not proud of myself. I'm being disingenuous." We're so used to politicians being disingenuous and obfuscating their lives and trying to put forth this squeaky clean exterior. And then you find out that he's getting gay hookers in the bathroom snorting coke off their back. Which is an excellent point. The most conservative politicians who rail against, homosexuality and drugs and things of that nature are definitely the ones who you see doing it off of a gay hooker. What did she say? Snorting coke off the back of gay hookers. Very well put. Very well put. Bray said that she, like many others in her generation, grew up online, and it's a place where she has few qualms about baring her soul. She has a website, ajbray.com. Although, interestingly, when you go to the website right at this moment, you get a GoDaddy message that the domain name has expired. Coincidence? Or did she change her mind? Did she pull it down? I hope not. Apparently the website had opened with a close-up picture of 2 strawberries and the words 100% juicy, which Bray said refers to her fashion writing. She said she wanted to change that particular image, but she hadn't updated the website in a few years, so it's in the works, people. She's written both fiction and nonfiction and short stories, as well as her blog, which you can check out at www.heelsandwheels.info. Let's see if that one works. Heelsandwheels.info. There we go. Fashion, glamour, shoes, beauty, sex, modeling, relationships. Oh yeah, and a wheelchair too. Bray provides sexuality coach services, talking on the phone with people about their own sexuality issues, much of which is people who are gay and have yet to come out. She advertises the service online. Said that she doesn't care what people do in the privacy of their own bedrooms, urges other disabled people not to be hesitant to show people who they really are. She said, quote, "We can be sexual creatures." Absolutely right. Fully behind the candidacy. Although I'm not sure our support means much. Although we did support Clay Aiken. And look, that guy died that he ran against. Yes, see, Clay Aiken, he learned how to run an election here in Prussia with the Bismarck. Candidate give you a problem, you give him the Crisco. Yes. Something about The Great Mistake just makes perfect mood music for saying evil things, for giving driving lessons. I take it. All right, let's see. We'll give Tommy Loop one more try. The Looper. Mr. Tommy Loop, of course, host of the Thomas Loop radio program on all Western New York radio and Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning, fine gentlemen.
Good morning, my friend. Tommy Loop.
How goes it? Well,
it goes so well, my friend. How are you?
I'm all right. Doing the adult thing now. I went from age 20 to age 38 in about the last 4 months.
Right.
So I'm what's a good word? What's our topic?
Well, I wanted to get your thoughts on the new candidate for the Niagara Falls School Board, Angela J. Bray. She's a disabled model and blogger. She's written sex blogs. She gives sex counseling.
Okay.
She has a website with her photos in scantily clad gear. But very open about sexuality, open about what she's done in the past, not trying to hide any of it, now running for the Niagara Falls School Board. And I know you're a Niagara County resident there, and you've got children, of course.
Yeah. I didn't catch the name, sorry.
Her name is Angela J. Bray.
Yeah. What is her occupation?
Well, she has a blog, she's a writer, she does various kinds of advocacy things. And she's a model. She's an entertainer.
Yeah. Yeah, I have nothing against it. Niagara, if it's the city of Niagara Falls, if I'm not mistaken, that she's running for school board, that is going to be a monumental task for anyone outside of those on the board to make the school board. So she's going to have to be, and I'm trying not to make this a pun, I'm trying to be as serious as possible, as creative as possible.
Right.
To make, to even have a chance at it. We both have kids, right? I have 3 daughters. You yourself have 2 offspring of your own.
Right.
And, it becomes more sensitive as we become parents. So now 2 of us, we grow up with this, notion of, sex and happiness and all that stuff. And now we're somewhat hypocrites to it because now we have kids. That's just the nature. That's all it is, man. But, I don't know. I don't have anything against her running for it. I don't know the person. I'm not a city resident. I'm a town of Niagara resident. I really can't give a breakdown other than she's going to have to be very creative and pick her spots, choose her spots wisely,
right,
in order to get a surge of votes.
Yeah, with a unique kind of candidacy, a unique candidate who's someone who doesn't have a political background, but instead has, more of a public background. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, it will be. It will be. And let's face it, man, Western New York in general is as political as it gets. So she's going to have to undo decades and decades of corruption, failed terms in the past
Right.
of those who are in place, just shaded people in general who have been lifelong residents of Niagara Falls, New York. And she's going to have to pull out all stops to pull this off.
And
I wish her the best.
you make a good point, too. It's as we get older, we kind of care more and more about this. I actually just voted in my first school board election. Was it last week or a couple weeks ago? Because the turnout in those elections, I think it's like 10% or something less than that. It's horrific. Nobody votes for the school board elections, but I actually voted because you care about it now that you have kids. It's sad to say, but when you don't have kids, you're like, oh, who gives a shit? But it doesn't matter. I mean, you should go and vote anyway and care about it because it is important. It will have bearing on your area and the quality of life and property values and everything. It all trickles down,
That's right. That's right. And just like you, I will be voting in my first time at a school board election in my district, and that'll be May 20th in Niagara Wheatfield. And I care because my two of my three daughters are now in the school system, and the school system's great. The teachers are great, and I want to make sure that I have the opportunity to vote to hopefully get the candidates I hope for in office. So,
right.
It's very, and that, I face that a little bit less because the new blood is moving in on, the school district. I have people my age already on the Niagara Wheat School Board. So that's a plus side for people of my age with children.
Yeah, definitely. The one rapper in Buffalo ran for the school board. I don't think he was on the ballot, Scantron or whatever his name is. And I wanted to write him in, but I couldn't remember his real name. I can't even remember his rap name.
Yeah.
But I would have voted for him. All right, Tommy, we can't talk about school board elections all day, as riveting as it is.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the draft, my friend. We've got to break down the draft. We haven't spoken since it all wrapped up. Of course, past weekend.
I can just say I'm jumping on this one with excitement as a Western New York sports fan in general. The Bills did an outstanding job in the draft. Doug Whaley, we're not used to seeing this, and I've said this before, the we're not used to phrase. We're not used to seeing a GM being able to pull the trigger like this guy is. And to be able to do that, from moving 9-4, you lose a first-round draft pick, but think about it. You have 2 first-rounders that you acquired in the offseason through free agency.
Right.
Yeah, to fill defensive needs. So that could fill your void. It's a win-now league. He's thinking now. I love his quote saying, we plan to draft deep into the 20s next year. That was awesome.
A bold statement, and you're right. The whole thing just was bold move after bold move. And I love you're so excited about it. I felt, it's hard as a Bills fan to get that hope going anymore because there's so many times that you feel that false hope after the draft and then the team goes 6-10 or whatever. But, still I try to be cautiously optimistic about this one. And I did feel like you make a great point in Doug Whaley's ability to be flexible and to maximize value. That's what I thought he really did very well, was maximize value, which is ironic. It's ironic I would say that, considering that the big thing that they're getting dinged for in this draft, of all the national media, is that they gave up too much for Sammy Watkins, giving up a number 1 next year along with a number 4 next year, and of course their number 9 pick. So they moved up 5 spots and gave away a 1st and 4th next year for that, essentially. So they got the 4th back in the trade for Steve Johnson, actually, when he went to San Francisco. Yeah. Another trade, which I thought, not directly draft related, but a fantastic move. I mean, you moved up, you got your guy, you made the bold move to get Watkins, and then you went completely all in on him by trading Stevie Johnson immediately away to San Francisco, which is a great spot to send him to. It's his hometown, and he'll be a good fit for that system, I think. And then it's just trade after trade to trade back and maximize value everywhere, really maximizing value. Now, so that's the question, first of all, Tommy. Did the Bills give up too much? That's what everybody's saying. They gave up way too much to get to Sammy Watkins.
Absolutely not, especially in this day and generation. When you look at the draft and the depth of the draft, a third-round pick, a fourth-round pick talent pool is every good as a first round these days because the NFL is now so specialized athletically that you can get away with trading up into getting a first round. Yeah, first round pick's very important.
Sure.
Nothing against that. However, the talent pool is just extraordinary because now you're down to 7 rounds. You know, and then your way of making up the late round draft picks after the 7th round is undrafted free agency. So, with that being said, yeah, the Bills are going to be fine with this. They're going to be deeper, and like you said, value. And value also means extended contract at a decent salary for both parties.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
The athlete and the administration. So the team's going to be deep for at least 2 to 3 to 4 seasons. So I don't think they've been affected at all. Bird with letting go opened up huge cap space. I mean, if you were to sign Bird, you wouldn't get Watkins. You'd be stuck at 9.
Right, you're absolutely right. That's a great point. You know, the Bird thing, a lot of people were upset about him leaving via free agency, and then he ended up signing a contract with the Saints that I think was just ludicrous. And if that's what he was looking for from the Bills, I'm glad they didn't sign it, because you're right, you can't lock up that kind of money in a player. You know, as good as he is at that position, you can't lock up that kind of money. And if you're the Bills, you've already locked up your superstar money in Mario Williams. Okay, so that's a consideration. And you want to be able to re-sign some of your other guys. You know, they pulled off the Eric Wood extension, which is smart. But going into next year, you know, the big question mark is going to be C.J. Spiller and Fred Jackson. I mean, Fred is at the tail end of his career, certainly, so questionable whether he'll even want to come back. But C.J. certainly right in the prime of his career, but a guy who hasn't performed up to expectations. And so what do the Bills do? You know, a position that's not even a weakness right now, they go and make the trade for a Bryce Brown kind of character.
Right.
Somebody they were interested in last year, but they couldn't make the trade work last year, and so instead they were able to pull it off at the draft this year. I would assume they had a running back that they had targeted in the draft, and once they got past their second, third picks, they probably realized they weren't going to get him and then went back to the Bryce Brown trade. So again, maximizing value, doing the right thing to plug all the holes that you wanted, and you get the guy that you wanted last year, Bryce Brown, who I think was a great trade. I think could be a great signing, could contribute this year, and you know could be in a perfect world your starter next year. And the guy has that kind of potential.
Yeah, and again, the Bills got aggressive with this particular signing. They called the Dolphins because they wanted Carlos Hyde. I would have gone bananas had they gotten Carlos Hyde. I think San Francisco ended up getting him.
Right.
I think. I'm not sure. A remarkable running back in college. He is your prototypical 25 to 30 carries a game. Gets better as the game goes on. I've seen him play every single game last year as an Ohio State Buckeye. I've seen it. The guy is an absolute clutch running back. You want to give him the ball late in the game to just wreck other teams even having a shot of making up a lead. And, they tried to get him, and then instead they had to opt for the Dolphins, ended up trading San Francisco, San Francisco to Hyde.
Yeah, very funny you said that. That's Doug Whaley actually said that the Bills attempted to trade up into the second round so they could get Carlos Hyde. But they got outbid by the 49ers. Man, that would have been a great pick too. And that's got to be it. They couldn't make the Carlos Hyde pick, so then they went back to Bryce Brown. Smart.
It's going to be the position that elephant in the room. That's the one that they have a dire need for coming up. Isn't this season and through next season? I mean, they need more depth at running back because. Now, I have nothing against them. They were the number 2 rushing team in the league, yes. However, both guys aren't as durable. You know, C.J. Spiller and Freddie Jackson. They get hurt, and, another thing is give C.J. the ball. Let him run the ball 25 times a game. The guy's got breakaways. If you give him the shot to read defense, you got to give the guy a chance because we haven't seen it. We always see, oh, man, he had 12 carries for 90 yards, and then they don't use him. use the guy. Give him 25, 30, 40 touches a game.
Yeah, I mean that was certainly the case in the Chan Gailey era. They just didn't use him, and people were it just drove people crazy. But then once it got into to the Doug Marrone era, he really didn't use him much more. And it's he had a lot of injury struggles throughout the year. But it's like, how fragile really is C.J. Spiller, which has always been the knock on him, that he can't carry the load. But the coaches clearly don't have faith in him to carry it. So what do you do? I mean, it's I think a player that if you can re-sign, it has to be at the right price, which has to be a pretty cheap deal for the Bills, because it's just too easy to find running backs in this NFL. Really it's a passing league, and the focus is on your passing game. And again, not to beat a dead horse, but going back to Sammy Watkins, that's why the trade is so huge for the Bills right now. And they're all in on E.J. Manuel, which, regardless of the fact that Whaley wasn't the GM during that draft when they selected him, he was there, and it was definitely his guy, and he's all in on EJ right now, and so is everyone. So is the whole organization.
I believe that EJ's going to be a good quarterback. I really do. And now, having that, I can't get over the Bills have Sammy Watkins. He's a game wrecker for the opposition. The thing is, Stevie Johnson being let go, injury-prone, solid possession slot receiver. Sammy Watkins can do that and just blow the doors off you in his first 2 steps after he catches the ball. He could go deep, too, with the ball. Oh, and by the way, he can return kickoff and punt for touchdown.
Dynamic player, explosive.
Oh, man. I just love this. I love that we got the Ferrari in Western New York. I love it.
Yeah,
absolutely love this pick. I love what the Bills did. It really, I think a lot of fans don't realize that the carpet has just been pulled right underneath you. You don't know what hit you.
I mean, it's a brilliant move. Make it easy for EJ. Give him somebody, and this is what a young quarterback needs in this league. Give him somebody that he can just drop back and pitch it up to, somebody that can go and get the ball. I think EJ can drop back and put it to a spot, and Watkins can just go get it. And that's going to be a great combination, hopefully, this year for the Bills to really get over the hump offensively. With a stable of running backs who can make plays. And the offensive line cleaned up a little bit in this draft as well. The second pick, Cyrus Kouandjio. That's right, Kouandjio. I love the name. I love the report on him. He had ACL and MCL surgery in his left knee in 2011 as a freshman, but had no problems after that. But his medical report scared a lot of teams away. He had first-round kind of talent, but the medical reports had him drop to the second. The Bills weren't afraid. They said their medical people checked it out. They said Dr. James Andrews checked it out. Everybody looked at Cujo, and they said he's good to go. So they went for it. He's 6'7", 322 pounds. He's just a massive beast of a man. His greatest success is going to be at right tackle, which is just what the Bills need. And you know what? The same exact thing happened with Cordy Glenn. It was the same deal. Yep. He didn't project to tackle in the NFL. There were medical concerns. And look, Cordy Glenn stepped in as a rookie at left tackle for the Bills, and he's been a staple ever since. And he's still doing a great job, and I think he's going to be a lockdown left tackle guy for 10 years for the Bills. I hope, because he's done great so far. Now Cyrus on the other side, you got Cujo there, and Cujo could be the same thing for you on the right. I love the pick.
I absolutely do too. Very excited about the offensive line, because that ultimately is the wild card for the Bills.
Right.
They're congealed. They played several consecutive games together now, and now you bring in the guy, I believe it was at Alabama, right?
Was that Cyrus?
Second-round draft pick?
Yep, Alabama. Yep.
I mean, he's got, 2 national championships?
Yep.
He's played in a Saban system where you have to hammer at the line.
That's right.
You have to just destroy the opposition at the line. This is a great pick.
And in that system, on that line, he was a consensus first-team All-America choice this past year.
Yeah, I love the pick. Again, that's just as every big as a first-round pick, and they got him in the second round.
That's right. A huge upgrade over Eric Pierce. If their medical people are good with it, James Andrews is good with it. It sounds great.
Yeah, And even if he does tail off, he's still better than any guy they got.
Right, and that's what I love about this offseason with the Bills is that, and Doug Whaley said a bold statement that he was very happy with this roster for the most part, that it just needed little tweaking here or there, and there wasn't a clear position of need for the Bills, which was somewhat of a pre-draft smokescreen because clearly the position of need in their mind was wide receiver.
Yeah.
But an offensive line, and I love how they've addressed the needs that they do have. Through free agency, they looked at guard. Guard was a problem last year as well in the line, but they also went to the draft in the 5th round with Cyril Richardson, who could end up being a really, really good pick. He could be a steal there in the 5th round. He's another huge man, just enormous, and a great offensive mind. Very excited to come and play with Doug Marrone. And he won the Jim Parker Award for Best Offensive Lineman in the nation.
Right. Right. This is just, I'm telling you, this is a great, intelligent, competently run draft that we're never used to.
Right.
Bill Polian was the last time we've seen anything remotely close to this. I think this is better than what Polian did in regard to piecing together a team. There were some nice accidents with the Polian draft. And Polian proved himself again. He got himself a ring in Indianapolis with his blueprint.
Right.
I'd say this is, if not second, it's just as good as a Polian draft. Piecing together a team. What Doug Whaley is doing right now. And I know this is a project. Everything's a project, and it's currently in motion. But that's the NFL. Everything has to be, in motion. Everything's a project. Everything has to be tweaked. This guy gets it. I can't wait to see how this team looks in August going into September. I really can't.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be good. It's exciting. And so they went back to defense in the 3rd round. Preston Brown.
Yeah.
Another solid pick, a guy who's probably a run stuffer type. But looked good. Had an interesting career. Could fit in perfectly with the Bills system. I mean, that's the other thing. They're getting guys who fit the system and get good value and can do the right kind of situational things that they need, rather than looking for the home run pick here in the 3rd round. They're going for a guy who can fit in and be a piece of the defense because they feel that good about the defense. You know what I mean? They added Ross Cockrell, a cornerback from Duke, in the 4th round. And the Bills' philosophy is always to add corners in every draft, so not surprising there. And then in the 7th, we got another linebacker, Randall Johnson, and another offensive tackle, Seantrell Henderson. Both projects, they've had injury problems and off-field issues, but guys who could, have potential to play in the NFL. So we'll see how it all shakes out. All in all, I really like the draft. I'm a homer and I love the Bills, but like I said, you try to balance that hope with some realism and look at the draft, really, and what the impact could be on the team. And I like the direction that the team has taken and the drafts have taken under Doug Whaley. I like the way he runs it. You're right. It's an intelligent draft. It's a well-thought-out draft, maximizing value across the board, even trading back in the 5th round to get another 7th-round pick. So with the undrafted signees, it'll be a really interesting training camp for the Bills. And you want to see Sammy Watkins come in and dominate right away.
That's right. He will. He will be an instant performer. And I having Marrone being an offensive mind, I'm very sure that he'll be used often. More so in situational type settings because they don't want to overuse him, but he'll be used a pretty decent amount of times this coming season.
I love his potential. I mean, it's the kind of player that could totally revitalize your offense and just make it much more exciting, much more dynamic. Really adds that big play element to it that we haven't had in a number of years, and that's what I think they were looking at. Is the offense is solidly built from the inside out, starting with the line. Adding a few more pieces to finish it off, but they've built it solidly, starting with Eric Wood and Cordy Glenn there. So a good job on the line. They've added the quarterback that they wanted. Now it's really about adding that home run threat, that big play ability. And I think that's what they've done. Yeah,
and, by the way, 4.37 in the 40s.
I love it. You know, a 4.240. Hey, this is like Madden numbers, man. You gotta love that.
Yeah.
What other thoughts do you have from the draft, my friend? What else surprised you or didn't surprise you? You nailed that Detroit pick, Ebron at 10. I thought he might go to the Bills, but the Bills instead had other plans to make a big splash there.
Right. But I thought Bernard was going, but I thought the old way, and I was glad that they didn't go the old way.
That's right.
So, Ebron, like I said, that was a common sense pick. They needed a upgrade from Pettigrew, and you got to free up that offense. You can't just have everybody teeing up on Johnson and Stafford. I mean, his interceptions are going to be way down this year. Ebron can just take 3 or 4 people for a ride after the catch too. That's another benefit you get out of him. And he has 4.5, 4.6 speed too. So it's pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
So
I would have been happy with. I would have been happy with him.
Impressed that they were economical because they're destroyed with the cap. They wanted an offensive lineman. Yep, you got to keep your QB upright. They signed 24 undrafted free agents.
It's a lot of competition at a lot of spots there, huh?
Yeah, I'd give it a B- for the Cowboys. It was the most common sense draft I've seen in a long time. They didn't try to make a splash. They just sort of stayed under the radar, which is what they had to do anyway. I think the Bills had one of the top 5 drafts in the league.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I like Whaley. He's aggressive. He's bold. If anything, he's gonna go down swinging, and I love that about him.
Yeah, and he has common sense.
I love it. Love it, Tommy Loop.
Yeah.
Great talking to you, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us.
You too. Thank you.
I will talk to you soon.
All right, my man.
Okay.
Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The great Tommy Loop breaking down the Buffalo Bills draft with us here. You may have noticed throughout the conversation I changed outfits a few times, and now I'm a pirate. That's right. Where's my pirate noise? Yeah. I'm getting too excited over here. Let's see if I think Ski Mask had some things to say about pirates.
Kegs of rum. They got parrots that sit on their shoulder. I mean, parrots are awesome. It's sort of like when Dudley sits on my shoulder. Who wouldn't want a nice parrot sitting on their shoulder?
Who wouldn't want a nice parrot sitting on their shoulder? I would. Ooh. Note. Google. One for the suggestion box, my friends. If we're going to have all this get-up, I can do the eye patch and the pirate hat. We need a little parrot to put right here. And I'll work on that. Maybe I can find one of those instead of you having to do it. I mean, jeez, you guys aren't doing enough for me here. What else does Ski Mask have to say about pirates?
They go against the mainstream governmental authority.
Yes, that's true.
They got boats. They hoist the Jolly Roger.
They can hoist the Jolly Roger. They've been known to do that, too. Oh, just fantastic. Noah. All right. Let's take off the eye patch, the pirate hat, the mustache. There we go. Hey! Oh, they got sounds on here, too. Yeah. Oh, there's a laugh track. That's going to be dangerous. And applause. Thank you, everyone, for listening today. Oh, yes. You're too kind. Thank you. I just love to be here with you good peoples of the world. Woo! All right. Change the background. I'm going into the sun. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's Noah in the Morning. Until next time, give us a call anytime, 716-402-4218. Find us on Facebook, facebook.com/allwnyradio. Good luck.